Welcome to the Two Geeks and a Microphone podcast, your one-stop shop for television, movie, video games, comic books, book reviews, and more. Now, without further ado, here's Steven and Mike. Well, I guess I'll talk first today. Good morning and welcome to the Two Geeks and a Microphone show. As you can see, I am not Steven. Steven is off on a well-deserved break today and next week. So in the meantime, I am your host, Michael of Two Geeks and a Microphone. And with us, we have a guest host from the unholy trilogy of all things geek, Mr. Brien Ramsey. Everyone welcome Mr. Brien Ramsey. Yay!
Hello, everybody out there.
Good morning.
Happy to be here.
Yes, thank you for joining us, Brien. Appreciate it.
Absolutely. Thanks for thinking of me and having me on.
Well, you know, we've been doing a lot of shows with you guys, and I really like our flow that we have, so I thought it'd be fun if you stepped in and joined us for a couple episodes while Steven's out.
Happy to do it.
Awesome.
I got some big shoes to fill, though.
Big clown shoes?
I didn't say that.
Hopefully he's watching.
I know, right?
That would be awesome. I would love that. Yeah, I hope he kind of chimes in. That would be great. So
there he is.
Is he?
And there he is.
Oh, there he is. Morning, Steven.
Good morning, Steve.
There he is. Okay. So, since Steven's not here, I don't know if he got to go see Doctor Strange or not. So, we are not going to be talking about Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness.
Which is good because I haven't seen it yet either.
Yeah, you slacker.
I am a slacker. It's a busy weekend this weekend, I have to admit.
I just got to say, I can't believe they killed Doctor Strange.
I know. And I can't believe you just spoiled it for everybody out there who hasn't seen it.
Oh, sorry. Spoilers. No, I did see it last night. Man, I thought it was a great movie. I really enjoyed it.
Good.
Of course, I won't give any details, and I won't give my review until Steven's back.
Save it for the Doctor Strange podcast.
That's right. Well, I mean, he and I have had such a big build up to the multiverse, and then all of a sudden he's
This is what, show number 4, I think, in the build up to Doctor Strange?
I think this is number 4.
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah.
But I'm like, I told him, I was like, hey, the movie, I got my tickets for, what is today's date? The 7th? I got my tickets for the 6th. And he goes, wait a minute, Doctor Strange is the 6th? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh, shoot, I'm on vacation that week.
Yeah. I
was like, we've had all this build up to it, and you're going on vacation, dude?
I know. Sometimes life gets in the way.
Right.
You know, that's what happens. Like I said, it's a busy weekend for us. It's obviously Mother's Day tomorrow. So we've got family obligations tomorrow. Today we're celebrating. Well, we got a lot of stuff going on. My wife and my daughter have a lot of errands this morning. And then tonight we're celebrating Cinco De Mayo, finally.
Nice.
The basement bar here where I record in is finally complete after about 6 months of off and on construction. So we're going to show it off to the family and have everybody down and get wasted on margaritas. And I think my wife is making homemade tacos. And
nice.
It's also Kentucky Derby Day. So my mom is looking forward to mint juleps later.
Oh, wow. So holy cow. Yeah, that's a lot going on.
There's a lot going on. Yeah. So, life does get in the way. And we're hoping to see it on Monday.
Awesome.
Yeah,
awesome.
we got some stuff to do after work on Monday. So I said, well, we're going to be out and about. Why don't we try to sneak in and see Doctor Strange before it gets too late?
I think you're going to be pretty happy with the movie.
I'm sure I will. I'm very rarely disappointed with a Marvel movie.
There are a few out there that.
Oh, I'm not going to say there's not.
Yeah.
No, there's definitely a few. Missteps. I'll call them missteps.
There you go.
But I'm really looking forward to this one. I've always been a big fan of Sam Raimi. He's an awesome director. I'm sure he's handled this one very deftly, just like he did with the first 2 Spider-Man movies.
Yeah.
Number 3 was where the studio stepped in, and it shows. And of course, his Evil Dead movies, all his horror stuff I've loved.
Nice.
And he's just a great director.
I have never watched Evil Dead.
Oh, Mike, we've got to get together and have a watch party.
Sounds good. Sounds good. We'll have to get Steven in on that one too.
Yeah,
Megan will probably like Evil Dead.
Yeah. Evil Dead 2 and 3 are very slapsticky too.
Okay.
So there's a lot of it borders on horror comedy, So
but Evil Dead 1 isn't. It's
Evil Dead 1 is a little bit, but it's more low budget and it's more like you try to do straight ahead horror, but he can't help not sneak in. He's a huge Three Stooges fan.
Oh, awesome.
Sam Raimi.
Yeah.
And so he can't not sneak in some of that slapsticky stuff, but he really dives in with both feet in 2 and 3.
Oh, Steven just said Evil Dead, I'm in.
Yeah, see? Awesome.
And I got to show
Steven,
this.
I think you're really going to like those.
My wife said Judith killed all of them in the Doctor Strange movie. That's always my go-to for jokes about, for something anyone hasn't seen. I'm like, Judith killed him. So Judith from Walking Dead. Little ass kicker.
Yep.
Awesome. Well, I thought we'd talk a little bit before we got into the continued road to Multiverse Madness.
Mm-hmm.
I thought we'd discuss a little bit of news that dropped this week. We got some Star Wars news, which I was extremely pleased with. So the second trailer dropped for Kenobi on May the 4th, Star Wars Day.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Oh, by the way, belated May the 4th be with you.
Yes, and May the 4th be with you also.
Always.
We were bad this year. We didn't have a May the 4th episode. Last year I made sure and had one. This year, just things were kind of crazy, and Steven wouldn't have had the time to record one. So
can I just interrupt really quick?
Sure.
So we record on Wednesday, which happened to be May the 4th, and it's also our first week of May. And in May, Mark likes to do what we call May the Fours be with you, and it's where we take a crappy fourth installment in a franchise. And it's one of our Drink Till It's Good episodes.
Cool.
And we, being the three geeky dads with four of us, and we like to play with the numbers a little bit, we decided because it was May the 4th that we were recording on, we are doing Caravan of Courage. The Ewok adventure.
The Ewok movie.
Yeah, yes. So look for that one to come out Sunday or Monday.
I've
already started editing it, but I'm halfway through. So
nice.
And like I said, it's going to be a busy weekend, so hopefully I'll be able to squeeze in the rest of it before Sunday night.
As big a Star Wars fan as I am, would you believe I've never watched the Ewok movies?
Me either. That was the first for me. And you know what, Mike? You're still not missing anything.
Somehow I believe that.
Yeah, just listen to the podcast and you'll hear all that you need to hear.
Okay, all right. I've done that with a few of you guys' episodes. It's like, I think all I need to do is just listen.
Yeah, my wife just chimed in.
Oh, nice.
That sounds like a horrible movie. It was, Kathy. It was.
That's awesome. So anyway, the Kenobi trailer dropped, and so I thought Kenobi looks fantastic.
I agree.
Oh my gosh, I can't wait for this show.
Yeah, no, same here.
Same
here.
Ewan McGregor has got to be one of my favorite actors in all of Star Wars history. I mean, he's just amazing. Yeah. He made me love the character of Obi-Wan Kenobi.
It's true. It's true. Because as much as Alec Guinness, embodied that role in the first trilogy, he really didn't have a lot of screen time.
Right.
He didn't have a lot to work with. Even he said, the lines were garbage. He thought he was making a kiddie movie. So I don't really think he was giving his all anyway. But Ewan McGregor, he just elevates it. He really does.
I agree. I don't mean that to take anything away from Sir Alec
Absolutely
Guinness.
not. No.
Right.
And that's what I'm saying, too.
He's a phenomenal actor, or was a phenomenal actor.
Exactly. Bridge on the River Kwai. One of my favorite movies at Christmas time is the Albert Finney Scrooge movie, the musical one. Oh, and he plays Jacob Marley.
Oh, really?
He's fantastic in that, yeah.
Nice. I'm gonna have
check
to
that one out at the holidays.
Okay, cool.
Mm-hmm. Cool. Mark hates that movie, but I love it.
Well, I love so many different versions of Scrooge. It's just one of my favorite, Christmas
everybody
stories.
loves A Christmas Carol.
Yeah, it's fantastic. It's a great story. I mean,
it really is.
It's a story of redemption. Who doesn't like a story of redemption?
Exactly. Exactly.
But
in Gotham, everyone loves a comeback.
That's right. Nice segue. You are the king of segues, by the way.
I try.
But bringing it back to
we keep getting derailed, Mike. I'm sorry.
It's all right. That's Stephen and I in a nutshell.
Multiple penguins, multiple icebergs.
Exactly. That's right. The Kenobi trailer looks fantastic, and I am so looking forward to it.
I agree.
We saw more of the what do you call the Inquisitors in this? A little bit more.
Yes, we did. Yeah, and we saw a little bit more Darth Vader in this one too. At the end.
Oh my gosh.
And as cool as the bad guys are, what really got me excited was the tiny little clip that they showed of Obi-Wan talking to Owen. Yes. You too?
Yes.
That was fantastic. I loved that.
And it's Owen owned him.
He totally did. He's in the trailer he says that Luke needs to be trained, and Owen fires back with, like you trained his father. Burn. No pun intended.
And you can just see the look on Obi-Wan Kenobi's face where he's like,
so dejected.
Crap, you're right.
He had nowhere to go.
Yeah.
He had nowhere to go.
I guess I can't say anything to that.
Yeah, I know. Exactly. He had no comeback for that.
Oh, that was such a good moment. I loved it. But now the Inquisitors, there's been a lot of controversy over
the look.
Yeah, the look of is he the Grand Inquisitor? I think it's the Grand Inquisitor.
I think you're right. I think he is the Grand Inquisitor.
And he's got his head doesn't look quite what it did in the cartoon. So, and
I get that because if they tried, I know they've done it in the movie because he was one of the I'm blanking on the race, but Obi-Wan went to their planet and that was where he rode that thing and lost his lightsaber, and they showed him for a second like that race, and I can't remember what they're called, but they were cool.
I agree.
Yeah.
I called them old corduroy heads.
They are. They're very groovy.
Nice. They get that look. It looks like their face is just made of corduroy.
I agree. I agree.
I had flashbacks to the 70s in my old corduroy pants.
The tough skins.
Right.
Mom's dragging us to Sears for back to school stuff.
And if you ran, you could set fires.
Oh, yeah. Exactly.
Right. When they go on, do you ever watch Naked and Afraid?
I haven't. I'm aware of the show, but I've never seen it.
My wife and I watch it quite frequently.
Is that on Discovery?
Yeah, I think it's Discovery.
Yeah.
It's a pretty interesting show though. But a lot of times they try to, they each person that's in the group gets to bring one item with them that would help them during their time on the, wherever they're at.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of times they bring fire starters. Sometimes they just don't bring a fire starter, which I'm always like, why wouldn't you bring a fire starter?
Oh, I know. Exactly.
That's probably the most important tool you need.
For one thing, you're naked. You're gonna get cold.
Exactly. Not to mention you got to heat up water, because if you don't heat up the water, it's going to be contaminated and you're going to get
Enjoy
sick.
The runs, people.
Exactly. So I think they should just give them a couple patches of corduroy and just...
Yeah, exactly. That'll work better than rubbing two sticks together.
There you go. Much better. So, I just think it's funny that a lot of people are really down on this character right now because he doesn't look like he looked in the cartoon, and I'm just like,
whatever.
Exactly.
Whatever. I'm sure that the performance and the character will outshine his look.
Well, my thinking is, he's an Inquisitor, and the Inquisitors aren't anywhere in the original trilogy. So
they're not.
That means they're going to die.
Yeah.
Vader's probably going to kill them once he's finished with them. So my thought is, he's only going to be around for this series, and then he's gone. So why do you really care?
Do you think we're going to get Kanan from Rebels? Do you think Obi-Wan is looking for other Jedi? Maybe. I don't think
we're going to see too many other Jedi. I think we might see maybe one Jedi. I don't think Kanan's going to come into it, though.
That's a shame. I'm kind of hoping he does, because we're getting the Inquisitors, and that's what we were first introduced to the Inquisitors was on Rebels. So I saw them. I'm like, oh, I hope we're going to get Kanan, and maybe eventually lead to a live action Ezra.
Well, I've heard
not
rumors,
in this series, I'm saying, but eventually, like down the road.
I've heard rumors Ezra has been cast for Ahsoka.
Oh, now see, that would make sense.
Right. And I totally get that. So my thinking is, if we're going to see Kanan show up, it probably be in the Ahsoka series. My thoughts are this is going to be more of a misdirect, where Kenobi is misdirecting the Inquisitors away from Luke Skywalker. I think the story is more about protecting Luke Skywalker than it is introducing
which is what
other
Obi-Wan
Jedis.
is assigned to. That's why he's stuck on Tatooine.
Right. Which I don't think he's going to be stuck. I think he's going to go off planet.
Yeah, I'm not saying stuck either.
Right, yeah. No, I get what you're saying. And I think at a certain point, Obi-Wan can't leave Tatooine. He's got to stay there. And that's how we get to
Right. I mean, if he's supposed to be watching over Luke, then it stands to reason that he's got to be on the planet. But if something is coming for Luke and he needs, like you said, needs to misdirect, or lead somebody off the trail a little bit, then he's got to go off world. You know, and that's why we see like the other planets that look like a big casino planet. Or it look casino because it's all neon, but wherever he goes.
It is Star Wars, and they seem to have a casino in it somewhere, don't they?
I guess.
Maybe we'll run into Lando.
Oh, maybe.
I would like that, running into Lando. That'd be kind of cool. Of course, now this is 10 years before.
So we get the Donald Glover version of Lando?
I guess it'd be the Donald Glover version of Lando.
Yeah, they're really going to have to de-age Billy D. Yeah.
I just saw Billy D in a commercial last night. I was shocked. I was like,
no
wow.
Kidding.
Yeah, and man, I love Billy D, but man, he's starting to really look his age.
Oh yeah, they all are. Yep.
I still think he's the smoothest criminal in all of Star Wars, though. He's just
baby.
He's so cool. I love him.
Mama's yelling at you for being off a topic.
Okay, all right, yeah. But I wanted to get in.
We're still talking Star Wars, which is what we were.
Well, no, we were supposed to be talking Road to.
I know, but you wanted to do the news first, so that's.
I wanted to get into news because that was big news that dropped, and Stephen and I will be covering the Kenobi series episode by episode, just like we've done Moon Knight, which Moon Knight we'll get into after this episode.
Yeah.
So let's move on to Road to Multiverse of Madness. I can't talk this morning.
That's a tongue twister.
So,
it is.
I picked up House of M, which I was told House of M was kind of the how do I say it?
The inspiration for WandaVision, which leads into all this?
Exactly. It's the inspiration to WandaVision, and I won't say what happens in the new movie, but I would say a little of that inspiration goes into the new movie, too.
Okay, cool.
So reading House of M, I thought was really appropriate for both of us, seeing how we're moving into the second Doctor Strange. And some of the events, once you see the film, you're going to go, oh, yeah, that connects. That's pretty cool. Not a lot.
I love how Marvel does that. It's like the little grains that you think are like, non-issues, like, issues, movies or TV series ago, that they pick up on. It's like, oh, that's what that was for.
Right.
And they're great for doing that.
And I think inspiration is a great word for this because it definitely doesn't take, the story for a whole and just reproduce the story.
No.
He I don't know who the director of WandaVision or
there were probably multiple directors.
Right.
Yeah.
But you can tell that they pulled some of their ideas from House of M and then just went their own direction with it.
Right.
So, which I thought was cool. I liked it.
And they usually do that, but for the cinematic universe, they'll take bits and pieces of things and mold it to fit their narrative for the screen.
Right.
Matt Shakman directed WandaVision.
Oh, cool.
Who did?
Matt Shakman, Shakman.
Probably Shakman.
Shakman. Okay, I'll take it. There goes our Tito. She's working.
I had the Inquisitor race too. I just didn't know how to pronounce it.
Give it a shot.
Yeah, give it a shot.
It's like the Shackman. Oh.
Paun. It was like P-A-U with an apostrophe A-N.
Huh. That is so George Lucas.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I don't know how he comes up with those names.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, we're
Scrabble-tiled.
We're circling back. And if Zig was in there, he would appreciate me saying that.
Right.
All right. So I did a little bit of research on both Magneto and Wanda, considering they're kind of the main characters of this story.
Yep.
So Magneto, his real name is Max Earnhardt, or AKA Eric Magnus Lensher. Okay. Mm-hmm. You're more of the Marvel expert than I am, so
that's how they pronounced it in the movie. Okay. In the X-Men movie.
In the X-Men, that's correct.
Yeah, they called him Eric Lensher.
His first appearance was in X-Men _1 in 1963. He is considered the most powerful and dangerous of all the mutants. And he's the foremost enemy of the X-Men, which probably goes without saying.
Yeah. The arch enemy.
Yes, exactly. Mm-hmm. As a boy, he was imprisoned in a Nazi death camp in Auschwitz, Poland. Due to sickness and malnutrition, his mutant powers were kept from emerging. So nobody knew while he was in the camps that he actually was a mutant.
Yeah. Because in the Marvel universe, the X-Men, the X gene and the X-Men powers was kind of like an analogy for puberty. So they would manifest around the time that they were like 13-ish, 12, 13, 14.
Oh, that's a great idea.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So, with him being, in the situation that he was, I can see why his powers were a little latent, due to him not feeling good.
That
due to
really makes sense.
Mistreatment and malnutrition.
Right. Mm-hmm. So Magneto's family was killed in Auschwitz, and this is where he kind of witnessed the inhumanity of how people can be, to other peoples who are considered different.
Yep.
After World War II, Magneto married his childhood sweetheart, Magda. I hope I'm saying that right.
Magda, yeah.
And they had a daughter. Now, help me with this name. Anaya? Anya? A-N-Y-A.
Anya. Or Anya.
Anya. That sounds better.
Yeah.
Let's go with Anya.
Anya. In America, we would probably say Anya.
Yeah. I like Anya, though.
But not Enya.
You're right.
I know people with names I have known people with names of that spelling, and it's Anya for them.
Anya.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Anya. I like that. Sounds kind of German. I would.
It's European.
Okay. Anya got trapped in a burning building at one point, and a mob prevented Magneto from rescuing her. He then used his powers to kill the entire mob. This frightened his wife, Magda, and she fled from him. When she fled from him, she then put the twins up for adoption because she was pregnant at the time that she fled from him, and she put the twins up for adoption because she was afraid that Magneto was going to exploit them and use them for their mutant abilities. Let's see. After this, Magneto eventually meets and becomes friends with Charles Xavier, Professor X.
Yep. Leader of the X-Men.
Yep, leader of the X-Men. And unfortunately, due to their differing views on mutants and humans and whether mutants and humans could coexist or not, they went their separate ways.
Right.
Charles formed the X-Men, and Magneto formed the Brotherhood of Evil. The original Brotherhood of Evil consisted of Toad, Mastermind, Scarlet Witch, and Quicksilver. I don't know who Mastermind is.
Yeah, he's not one I'm familiar with either.
Yeah.
Okay. I got to admit, the X-Men were not comics that I read a lot. I'm a Marvel fan, but I'm more of like the Spider-Man Avengers kind of.
Yeah.
Kind of guy. X-Men was not really my thing until Jim Lee had his run in the 90s.
I didn't really start getting into the X-Men
until
one of my friends in high school introduced me to Wolverine.
Yeah, and then exactly.
I fell in love with Wolverine,
Everybody did.
Exactly.
And that's why he showed up in every book, too, because Marvel realized how powerful he was as a character and how popular, he was. So that's why he was showing up in the Avengers. He was showing up in the Defenders. He was showing up as Marvel team-ups, right. And he was just, anytime there was a lag in sales, Marvel would pimp out Wolverine into somebody else's book.
Probably a smart move too.
It was a smart
move. I know that X-Men was a kind of a reaction from Marvel to DC's Teen Titans.
Yeah.
Because Teen Titans, of course, it's all the sidekicks of the heroes and it's their adventures and how they're becoming their own, where Marvel is like, okay, we got to come up with a teen group too.
Yeah.
So they came up with the X-Men.
Yeah.
Which,
if you look at
which
it, though,
is a slightly different premise, though.
Marvel's X-Men is actually more of a parallel to Doom Patrol, where you have a father figure in a wheelchair with all these misfit heroes.
True. That is true.
Yeah, I would say, and especially, and I encourage everybody to, if you don't have HBO Max, get a free subscription or a free trial and check out the Teen Titans. The Doom Patrol show. That is a fantastic show on HBO Max.
Well, and I would say if you like the Teen, if you like the
Titans
Teen
as well,
watch the Titans too.
Yeah,
because Titans I like both is a fantastic show. I really enjoyed it, and I like Doom Patrol. It's a little weird, but
it is weird, but that's what it's supposed to.
Right, exactly. Yeah. It kind of does what it's supposed to do. Yeah. I gotta catch up on it. I haven't watched season 3 yet. I think it's season 3. Whatever the latest of Doom Patrol.
I'm with you, Mike. I think I've only seen up to season 2, and I started season 3 but fell off it again. So now
the only thing weird about Doom Patrol is they put Cyborg on Doom Patrol.
I know. And
I'm
that
like,
was a little strange.
He's never been in Doom Patrol. Why did you?
No, he should be on Titans.
Yeah, he should be, and he looks like the young Cyborg from the, I can't say the original, from the new Teen Titans of the 80s. Hashtag my Teen Titans.
Right.
Yeah. I'm like, why didn't they put it? I don't understand why. But he was really good in Doom Patrol.
He was.
Anyway.
He absolutely
By
was.
the way, according to Wiki, Mastermind has the ability to generate complex telepathic illusions at will that cause his victims to see whatever he wishes them to see.
Oh. Ooh.
Okay.
And that
cool.
kind of ties in with Scarlet Witch a little bit.
It does a little. It almost touches on her powers. And
abilities. No kidding. Okay, so moving on to Scarlet Witch. Her real name is Wanda Maximoff, a.k.a. Wanda Frank, or...
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, according to Marvel Encyclopedia, which I just purchased.
Nice.
Which is a fantastic book. Oh my gosh, this thing is so heavy. Check this out.
It disappeared.
Yeah, I can't see it on the on the green screen.
Let me hop in and I can show it.
Here, you take it. Oh my gosh, that thing's heavy.
Yeah, don't drop it.
You'll hurt something.
Wow, that's hardcover too, isn't it?
Yeah. Oh, it's a beautiful book.
Yeah,
I love it.
So that's my Christmas list.
That's where I got my info on this. It's only like $21 on Amazon, by the way.
Oh, nice.
I'm going to pick up the DC one next.
Cool.
So, according to that, Wanda Frank, and I'm not really sure what the Frank comes in. And then Wanda Magnus, which would be Magneto's real name. Her first appearance was X-Men number 4 in 1964. For years, Wanda and Quicksilver believed that Magneto was their true father. Supposedly, their mother had fled from Magneto, which I told in the description of Magneto, while she was pregnant, fleeing from her husband, fearing that her husband would exploit the children. She gave them up for adoption. The twins were raised by Django and Maria. Maria. I don't know where in the world they come up with these names.
It's not Maria. It's Maria.
It's Marya.
Yeah, Maria.
Yeah. Wanda soon learned she had powers, and she accidentally makes a house burst into flames. And then because of that, the people of the town were going to stone her because they thought she was a witch.
And turned out they were right.
Well, yeah, technically, yes. Magneto then saves her, and then Wanda and Pietro, her brother, which is Quicksilver, they end up joining Magneto in his war against the humans.
Yeah.
Which then many years later, Wanda and Pietro leave Magneto and the Brotherhood of Evil, and they join the X-Men. Wanda combined magic with her mutant abilities. So she was a mutant, but adding the magic to it just made her that much more powerful.
Yep.
Which is something we were talking about after the movie. She eventually, I didn't know this, she eventually defeats Dormammu. Right, which is the big baddie at the end of...
the first Doctor Strange movie.
Right.
I've come to bargain.
Yes, I love that scene. That's a great scene, too.
Yep.
And we see it multiple times.
Oh, yeah.
I've come to bargain.
Yeah. Then you will die. Well, pain's an old friend.
Yeah, right. Later, Wanda and Pietro discover that they were not Magneto's children. They learn that the High Revolutionary had stolen them as babies and gave them powers.
Oh, really?
Right. So
they weren't born with their abilities.
Right. I didn't know that.
I didn't know that either.
But according to the Marvel Encyclopedia, they were given their powers by the High Revolutionary.
So are they still classified as mutants then?
See, that's what I wanted to discuss with you. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Because mutants
go ahead.
Have natural abilities that they're born with.
That's what I thought. But then reading the House of M, and Spider-Man is in it.
Yes.
And they consider Spider-Man a mutant. And I'm like, well, that makes sense because his body actually did mutate, after being bitten by a spider.
True.
He wasn't born with those abilities.
But see, Spider-Man
he did mutate later on because of what happened.
Spider-Man always wanted to be an X-Men, but they wouldn't allow him to be an X-Men because he wasn't a mutant. So that's why
I didn't know he wanted to be an X-Men.
Yeah. So that's why he joined the Avengers instead. Because
okay.
The Avengers didn't have that stipulation.
No, they take
anybody with powers could be.
Yeah, exactly. They had quite the revolving door of characters and members.
And of course, Spidey did become a member of Fantastic Four for a very short time. And
That's right, he did.
He wore a paper bag over his head.
The unknown hero.
Right. Kind of like the unknown comic. Yes. Oh my gosh. You remember
who could this unknown hero be that can shoot webs and cling to walls? I wonder.
Oh, that's hilarious. I have not talked about the unknown comic in years.
Yeah, the old Gong Show.
Yes, exactly. For those kids out there, there used to be a show back in the late 70s?
Late 70s, yeah. Hosted by Chuck Barris.
Chuck Barris, yep.
Yeah, and Gene the Dancing Machine.
Yeah.
Remember?
Yes.
They'd bring him out once in a while when things got really weird. And anyway, let's talk about falling off the iceberg.
Yeah, really. That was a fun show, though.
It was a fun show.
Yeah, I don't know if you can pick that up anywhere. Anyway,
yeah, might be able to find some clips on YouTube. I'll bet.
Now, I found this interesting. Eventually, Wanda finds her real mother, who is Natalia Maximoff, and who also called herself the Scarlet Witch.
Oh, no kidding!
So Wanda was not the original Scarlet Witch.
Oh, wow!
Apparently, her real mother was the Scarlet Witch. And again,
go figure.
Watch the new movie.
All right, we'll do.
I mean, her mother doesn't make an appearance, but
okay,
there's something that happens.
Things are revealed.
Well,
not necessarily revealed.
Yeah, I think something in the background.
It's speculation.
Yeah, it's speculation on my part.
All right. Well, I'll see it on Monday night, and then we'll talk.
Okay, sounds good. So now we come to the House of M. Okay, now I told you that I was getting House of M. You purchased it also. We both got
I've got mine over here.
Yeah, I get mine too.
Yeah.
Of course, mine I probably won't be able to see it. Yes.
I'll hold mine up. So
now it's a beautiful book.
It is a beautiful book.
I love the book.
Yeah.
Although there's some panels that they cut off.
Yeah, I agree. The way it was executed was a little iffy.
Yeah,
and like, I had a couple of issues with the way some of the characters were drawn, particularly the males.
Yeah,
they seemed a little wide with tiny little heads. the whoever did the art, Olivier Copiel, he certainly knows how to draw a female. But it's apparent that he hasn't practiced much on drawing a male figure because they're very stocky with tiny little heads.
Now, Wolverine's appropriate, though.
Yeah, he is. He absolutely is. But I think he was just taking that maybe, and he was like,
applying it to
beefing them up a bit. Yeah,
right.
Exactly. Scaling up a Wolverine, it's like, oh, Wonder Man in particular. His neck was always wider than his head. And I'm like, no.
So yeah, there were some issues there, here and there.
No, the story was great.
Yes.
But there were some bits of the art that I was a little like, I don't like that.
Gotcha. For most of the art, I was pretty pleased with. I mean, I've seen some comics that I can't. I'm like, I can't even read this because I just don't like the art style in it.
Yeah. I know. It's unfortunate that it takes you out of the story.
I hate it when they start up a new series and you get these amazing artists.
Mm-hmm. And then they move on to something else.
Yes. Then the artist moves on to something else. And I agree. I think it's partially because the company doesn't want to pay that artist because that artist is bringing in big bucks.
Yeah. Or they want to move him on to something else that they're trying to build. Right. It's like, well, he's hot on this book. Let's put him on this book and see if we can increase sales on this one.
But then the art goes downhill.
It does.
And it's like, oh, crap. Now I don't want to read it.
No, I know. I remember I was Iron Man was always my guy.
Yeah.
And when I was in high school, Bob Layton was the one that did all the art for Iron Man. And it was fantastic. He owned that character. He owned Tony Stark. His art was perfect, And then midway through the 80s, maybe towards the late 90s, he left the book. And he went off to join Valiant and did Exo Manowar, another character with an armor that he created. And somebody else took over the book, and it just wasn't the same. I just fell in love with Layton's art, and whoever was taking over just couldn't draw Iron Man, in my opinion, the way that I was used to.
Nice.
Yeah, it happens all the time.
I just noticed your wife commented Father's Day, so
she put that in when you held up the Marvel Encyclopedia,
and then my wife, I don't know what my wife was talking about, but she
when
says
you were
Tarantula
talking about Spider-Man wearing the bag over his head.
Oh, gotcha.
Although I don't think I can't talk. Tarantulas spin webs. I don't think they have that ability.
Maybe not, but
I didn't know that. Wow. A tarantula doesn't spin a web? Interesting.
I think so.
Isn't
it a spider, though? I thought all spiders spun webs.
That's debatable.
I would think so.
I don't know. Anyway, interesting.
I'm going to look that up.
Well, now
Megan's falling down that rabbit hole now.
Yeah, no kidding.
She's watching nature videos.
Yeah, right. So yeah, we both decided that we were going to do House M for this episode, and you had made a comment, and afterwards I was like, he is right. He is so right.
What did I say?
That we should have read the story before this.
Yeah, because reading the opening to House of M, there's going to be spoilers going on for House of M for people who haven't read it.
Right.
But it opens with the aftermath of a big battle.
Yes.
Between the X-Men and the Avengers. And Wanda has had a huge nervous breakdown. She had already killed a couple of members of the Avengers. Mm-hmm. And now the Avengers and some of the X-Men are debating about what to do with Wanda now that she's in her fugue state. And a lot of the Avengers just want to put her to death. They want to euthanize her.
Yep.
And I'm reading this in the opening few pages of House of M, and I'm thinking, damn, I want to go back and read the other story now, but I don't know where to begin.
Well, from what I've seen, Avengers Disassemble.
I found that out afterwards.
Right, is the story that we need to read. So
okay,
I'm probably going to go back and read that one next.
Yeah. So to Kathy, my wife, who commented on Father's Day, there's another one. Marvel Encyclopedia and Avengers Disassemble.
Nice.
I'll take either, both, or whatever.
And I'm pretty sure there's
or another tie.
Yeah, or another tie. A Marvel tie.
Yeah, a Marvel tie would be great.
There you go. There you go.
So
she's done.
She's already on Amazon.
I know, she probably is.
That's awesome.
So tarantulas do not spin webs like spiders, but they do spin silk, and they will either make their burrow out of silk or use a line as a tripwire almost.
Well, it's kind of like spinning a web.
Interesting.
Kind of.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's not the same type of web, but they kind of do. Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
They still have the ability to spin silk.
Well,
welcome. Instead of spinning a web, it's webbing. Because technically, Spider-Man doesn't build webs either.
That's true.
He shoots a trip line.
That's true.
Or whatever you want to call it.
Right.
So now he's
a grapple.
Welcome to Nature Talk on Two Geeks and a Microphone.
I know, right?
All right, back.
Don't look for the videos on YouTube about anatomically correct Spider-Man.
That was something to look up. Okay, leave me alone.
Again, watch the new movie.
Yeah,
that's all I got to say.
All right, done.
Anyway, there's a great one-liner, but so anyway, back to House of M. So yeah, like you said, we start off where there's been a battle. Some of the X-Men have been killed, including Hawkman.
Hawkeye.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Hawkeye. My brain switches back to DC.
That's
Sorry.
okay. But when my daughter was little, she used to call him Hawk Guy. Thinking when I said Hawkeye, she thought I was saying Hawk Guy. So she's like, he doesn't look like a hawk. I'm like, no, it's not Hawk Guy.
That's nice. You were going to say something, Megan?
I don't remember what I said.
Oh, I'm sorry, Megan.
You're good.
Brian pushed the penguin off the iceberg.
I did.
You said you switched to DC, and I said you're on the wrong franchise.
Ooh.
Oh, yeah. Anyway, so we find out Hawkeye. She killed Hawkeye. She killed Vision.
That's right. Yeah.
And I thought there was a third one she killed too.
I knew there were at least two.
Yeah, I know those two for sure. And obviously, Vision kind of plays into her going mad.
Yeah,
you know, because they were husband and wife at that point too.
Right.
So she's going mad, and it opens with the scene of her giving birth to the twins.
Okay,
and then all of a sudden, it all kind of starts crumbling, and you see Professor X saying, "Stop it! Stop doing this," because she's completely creating everything that's happening, that it's not in reality, which again, that takes you into WandaVision, because everything she did, she took that entire town and remade it to to fit her fantasy and everything, including having the twins.
Exactly.
So this was a big influence on that TV series, but the stories are a lot different.
The story for the MCU is very much scaled down. You know, where she just took over an entire town, the town of Westview, wasn't it?
Yes. Yeah.
Or Westlake, Westview. And in the book, The House of M, she basically gives everybody their heart's desire, what they would consider to be their perfect.
She gives
scenario.
all the X-Men.
Yes.
She gives all the mutants.
Yes.
I shouldn't even say X-Men. I should just say all mutants.
Yeah.
Because apparently she gets into Charles's head and discovers what all their desires are.
Right.
And she recreates the entire universe.
Yeah, in that image.
Including Magneto basically ruling over
Genosha. Yeah, and being the leader of all the mutants. Which
right.
In this world, the mutants are the dominant species.
Right. Exactly. And so Magneto in this world is basically in charge of everything. And nobody knows what's going on. Nobody understands what's going on.
Right.
Until Wolverine wakes up.
Yes.
Wakes up to Mystique.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah. Yeah.
And that threw me off because Mystique calls him James.
I know.
And I was like, where does this James come from?
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, he's never had an identity of James as far as I know.
Nope.
It's always been
Logan.
Wolverine and Logan. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm like, where did James come from?
Well, no. Isn't his real name James Howlett?
Is that what it is?
It is, actually. And they do touch on that in the movies, too. I think one of the Wolverine movies, they called him James.
Okay. Man, it's been a while since I've watched
the X-Men are not my forte.
Right.
I'm a casual X-Men kind of guy.
Yeah. And I watched all the Wolverine films. I just don't remember that detail.
Yeah.
So
and they're not ones that I revisit on a regular basis.
Yeah.
Either. Or like, I will watch anything from the MCU, like all the Avengers movies and everything leading up to them. All those characters I'll watch on.
The funny thing is, I like the Wolverine. It was kind of more of the retelling of his origin and everything.
Mm-hmm.
I like that one, and I know there's a lot of people out there who just hate that movie.
Yeah.
They're like, "Oh, this movie sucks." I'm like, well,
Is that the one with Liev Schreiber as is his brother, as Sabretooth?
Yes. I think that was Yeah. And
it's got that opening montage of him like through the years and all the different wars that he's fighting in and all the different things.
I think that, and he's in Japan. And
I think it ends up in Japan. They all kind of run into each other. Honestly.
I know they do. It's so hard to tell them apart now at this point.
Yeah.
But anyway, I just know it's the one that like almost nobody likes, but I like it. I think it's a good movie.
Yeah.
But then again, I didn't care for Logan. Was it just Logan? The last
the final one?
Yeah. I really didn't care for that one.
That was a little depressing.
It was. It was an extremely depressing movie.
Did you know Wolverine's Canadian?
Yes.
I didn't realize that.
Wasn't he a member of Alpha Flight 2 at one point?
Maybe.
Which was like the Canadian superhero team?
Maybe. I don't remember. Now, I used to collect the Wolverine series when it first came out, the original run of the Wolverine series.
Yeah, me too.
And a lot of run-ins with Sabretooth, and oh man, that was a good series. Really good series. Yeah. Anyway, so Wolverine wakes up and Mystique calls him James, and I'm just like, who the heck's James?
Yeah.
And then it's that point Wolverine realizes that he has all his memories.
I know.
And
I know
Wolverine.
And that he's also like the leader of a splinter group of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Right.
Was it like the Crimson Guard or something they called themselves?
Yeah. Yeah. So it's like this whole universe is upside down.
Oh, it really is.
It's so weird. Yeah. And it's that point when Wolverine's like, wait a minute, this isn't right. Something is going wrong here.
Mm-hmm.
And so he's trying to get to the bottom of it. He escapes that group, just jumps.
Yeah,
I love that. Jumps off their ship, falls down to the ground, basically to die, and then of course come back to life. Because that's Wolverine.
Yeah. Well, didn't they also touch on the fact that he doesn't have his mutant abilities anymore, his healing power? So at one point, don't they say like the adamantium in his skeleton will kill him? But it doesn't.
Yeah, because that doesn't make sense. Because he uses the ability when he jumps off of the whatever the plane.
Yeah, the helicarrier.
The helicarrier.
Yeah.
And then he also uses it because he goes to he finds Luke Cage and I forget who all's in that group.
Yeah,
but he finds them and Hawkeye's there.
Yep.
Which did they explain?
Hawkeye's alive.
Did they explain how Hawkeye is still alive?
They didn't, but I guess it all has to do with Wanda's manipulating this universe.
I'm guessing it's probably because she felt guilty.
She felt bad
for killing him. Of course, now.
But then why didn't the Vision come back?
Right, that's my other question.
That was a little weird. Yeah.
Yeah, you would think if anything she'd bring back Vision.
Right.
But see, this question came up last night after we watched the movie, and we were talking. Angie and I were talking about WandaVision, and Angie is like, "Well, I don't understand why she wouldn't bring back." Well, shoot, I can't talk about it. It's in the movie.
Yeah,
dang it.
Spoilers, Sweden.
Okay,
spoilers.
All right, get that out of my head.
As River Song would say.
Yeah, spoilers. Anyway. Moving on. So Hawkeye's back, but yeah, for some odd reason she doesn't bring Vision back.
Yeah.
And Hawkeye shoots Wolverine and kills him actually. And then of course Wolverine comes back, which was a great scene. Yeah, Angie said my tagline. Save it for the
podcast.
Yeah. Anyway, so I guess they didn't know that Wolverine has a healing factor because they're all a little surprised when he gets back up and he's not dead.
Yep.
which I absolutely love.
Yeah.
So yeah, Wolverine comes too, and he's like, "Look, I know you guys don't trust me because I'm a mutant and they're not mutants.
Yeah. Yeah.
But something's not right here,
right? Right.
And he starts telling them how he can remember all of his past,
everything. Yeah.
Before this happens, we all know Wolverine has very foggy and few memories.
His memory had been wiped and wiped and wiped and wiped. Yeah, so much like they did with the Winter Soldier,
right?
In the MCU, is what they did to Wolverine in the comics.
Yes,
Angie said that the first part they still had their powers. She just wanted them to be happy.
Okay.
So she was focusing on everyone else. It sounds like.
Okay.
Instead of herself, so that's probably why.
Oh yeah, I forgot. Angie read it too.
Yeah. Hi, Angie.
Morning, Angie.
Angie, you can still hop in.
Yeah, that's true. if you want to, you can hop in. So then Luke Cage says, "I believe Wolverine because this girl showed up yesterday."
That's right.
With the same story that Wolverine had.
Is her name Layla?
Yes, her name's Layla.
Yeah, it's just like in Moon Knight's Layla.
Right.
That's why I'm like, wait a minute, was her name Layla too?
Yep. Well, I thought it was funny when they introduce her to Wolverine. Wolverine goes, "Layla, you mean like the song?" And she goes, "No, no, not like the song," which I thought was hilarious.
Yeah.
Nice little callback. So
yep.
Then Layla, she can see the past or something. They don't really explain her.
No, they don't.
Other than she just knows what's going on.
Right.
How you spell her name?
Layla.
Yeah.
Layla. So I still don't understand who she really is. I mean, did she go on after this story?
Layla Miller.
I couldn't tell you.
I think that was it. Miller? I think. I don't know. Layla Miller.
She kind of got like an M on her face.
I don't remember that being in the comic book.
Codename Butterfly.
Oh.
I don't know if these are things.
I don't know. Maybe she has come back after this story then. Anyway, so Layla confirms what Wolverine's saying. And it's at this point they want to find out how the universe got flipped upside down and everything.
Yep.
And they come to the conclusion that Magneto is doing this. And their thought is, we kill Magneto,
and everything will be right again.
Everything will be right again. So now they come up with a mission to go after and kill Magneto.
Right. Yeah. So they all sneak off to Genosha.
Right. Exactly. And in Genosha, they're having this big celebration or some kind of gala. Something.
Yeah. I think it was to celebrate Magneto being leader of basically
everything,
mutant kind, which is the dominant species of the world. So basically, he's like the big world leader.
Right.
Yeah.
And I think is it at this point? Yeah, they attack. They attack that celebration that's going on. And I think it's at this point that Magneto comes to the realization that this is all a created universe, that this isn't what really happened.
Yeah, and they kind of show him like he's got like a memorial to Charles Xavier in his garden too.
Yes,
it almost looks like a tomb or a big gravestone, a big grave marker.
Right, and
he's contemplating, and it almost looks like he's grieving over.
Right, and Layla and Cloak and M. I'm not huge up on.
Yeah.
She was apparently one of the leaders of the X-Men of the Avengers at one point. Or was it X-Men? I don't know. Anyway, she was the leader of something. They're trying to find Charles, and then that's when they find the memorial to him.
Right. And Cloak actually phases underground, and he looks and he sees that there's nothing underneath. He says, there's no body.
There's no body.
There's nothing here. It's just a marker.
So Charles is just missing. Nobody knows where he's at. But now, see, I think since Wanda got into his head to discover everyone's desires, I think Wanda destroyed Charles's mind, and that's just my.
But where's his
my
body?
Perception. Good question.
Yeah,
I don't know. And they don't really. Yeah, they don't. That goes. That's a story that continues
somewhere in the Marvel equivalent of Arkham Asylum.
Possible, very possible. So yeah, it says at this point Magneto realizes what's going on, and is it? Does he realize right away who did all this? I can't remember.
Don't think so. I don't think he does, because Pietro comes and tells them that they're looking to kill Wanda. They want to kill Wanda for what she did.
And Pietro,
and he's trying to get Magneto to do something.
Right.
And Magneto doesn't want to.
Right.
He's like, "What would you have me do? What would you have me do?" And Pietro, he doesn't like that answer at all.
Exactly.
He does not like. He wants revenge. He wants action.
So
they're going to kill my sister.
Yeah, it's that point. Pietro tells Wanda, "You can change everything."
Yeah,
and he has her manipulate the entire universe.
Right.
Now, one of the things I found out about this, and I thought was interesting, Wanda actually has the power to not only manipulate her universe, but she can actually manipulate the multiverse, which makes her one of the most powerful characters in all of Marvel comic books.
Yeah, if not the most powerful.
Exactly.
I mean, if you can manipulate entire universes, not just one, but multiple at the same time, then I would say that's probably probably the most powerful character that you've got. You can alter reality in multiple planes of existence at one time.
Right.
Come on.
Exactly.
Who doesn't want that power? I can have everything I want, not only in this world, but every other world, every other plane of existence that's known and unknown.
To quote Emperor Palpatine, ultimate power. Always got to get a Star Wars reference.
Exactly.
Angie said it was when Logan starts talking to Wanda that her brother comes after them. Okay. Okay. So yeah, at this point, Pietro comes after him, and that's when Magneto realizes it's actually Pietro who has convinced Wanda to change everything. And Magneto's pissed because he's like, "You've ruined my name," which I kind of find funny. And I mean, this is Magneto. How much value does his name actually have? I don't know. I don't know. But he was very upset because everyone thought it was Magneto, and it turned out it was actually Wanda. And everyone thought that Magneto had convinced Wanda to do this when it was actually Pietro who convinces Wanda to do this. And at that point, Magneto kills Pietro.
I know.
Wow. That's something else, man.
And brutally, too.
Yeah.
Was it chunks of metal he just beats him over the head with?
Yeah. It was pretty insane, man.
Yeah.
It's like, wow, you just killed your own freaking son, dude.
I know.
I mean, I get it. You're mad, and, but is there something else you could have done?
I know. I guess he really liked the position that he's in now. He doesn't want it to change.
But he does, because I don't know.
He's always a conflicted character.
That's true. That is very true. Angie confirmed he was mad because he abused his name. So Angie confirms that. So it's that point that we discover Wanda has created everything that we've seen happen here, and Wanda at this point basically starts to put everything correct, except she does one little extra thing. She whispers, "No more mutants." So the world goes back to normal. The universe goes back to normal. Except over 90% of the mutants have either disappeared
or just lost their
powers. Now, the core, they seem to still have it. I mean, like Wolverine, Cyclops, all the main ones we see in the X-Men, they seem to keep their powers. But everybody else has either disappeared or they have lost their powers. So
what did they say? There was like hundreds and hundreds of thousands of mutants out there, and then there was only like a couple of hundred left by the time she was done.
Right.
Because Emma Frost went and used Cerebro to check out the situation.
Yeah,
and that's when she could see the entire globe, and instead of like, you know, it being, she says, this is what it should look like, but this is what we got, and there's like a speck here, a speck there, a speck here, and those little specks are like mutants, where it should be like, you know, the whole globe should be glowing with, you know, mutants all over the place.
Oh, now Angie says their genes disappeared. They didn't disappear.
Aha.
Which, I mean, that makes sense too, because she still wouldn't be able to detect them with Cerebral. I can never say that right.
Cerebro, I know. It's a tongue twister.
It is. It is. Marvel is good for that.
They are. They are.
But yeah, that would make sense why she couldn't see them. But I had maybe I misunderstood that, because I thought that several of them had just disappeared. But yeah, I knew several of them also lost their powers. So I kind of think this is, in a way, Marvel's version of DC's Crisis.
Could be.
Because Crisis, they used to, you know, combine the multiverse in DC. Now, granted, they're not combining the multiverse in Marvel.
No, but they're changing things. They're switching things up.
Right.
In a big way.
In a huge way. Because, I mean, you just eliminated so many. I think what it is they probably came to a realization that they've just gotten overpopulated with mutants. Gotten too big. And so
scale it down.
Yeah, let's scale this back down, and then we can build it back up as we go along.
Yeah.
And I think this
Which I think they did, from what I read, like within like 2 years after the publication of House of M, there were a few other publications. There were a few other Houses of M stories, too.
Yeah, I think there's the
like a
day
Spider-Man
after.
House of M. There was Avengers House of M.
Okay.
And I think within like 2 years, everything had kind of come back to normal. They brought everybody back.
Which, I mean, DC does that too.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Nobody stays dead for long in sci-fi.
Exactly.
Regardless of the franchise.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So, yeah. I mean, how many crises? Oh, heck, we're getting ready to go into a new crisis on DC. They're going into Dark Crisis over there.
Oh, are they?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know what Marvel's big crossover event is right now. But actually, technically, DC, I think, has 2 crossover events going on. And maybe the second one isn't the big crossover. I think the Dark Crisis is the big crossover that goes into all of the issues, which, by the way, I hate. That was part of the reason I kind of quit collecting comic books for many years.
No, I agree. I absolutely agree with you, Mike.
It's like I can't afford to buy every single character.
And if you could, good luck finding them sometimes too, depending on how popular the book was. You know, if it sold out, what are you going to do?
Right.
You know, especially in the days before the internet, when all this stuff was available digitally.
Exactly.
You know, if you didn't have a physical copy in your hands, you were screwed.
Right.
I don't know what happened.
Exactly. So, I mean, some of those you can just follow the main storyline, which this is the same way. Yeah. House of M is the same way. What you and I read was just the main storyline. Right, this went off into other books.
It really did.
Right.
Yeah, I was looking online, like all the branches that it took. Like, and obviously we discussed like the before. You know, the Avengers Disassembled, which leads into this.
Right.
And then you've got this 8-issue series, the House of M. But then you've got, like I said, all these little splinter, stories afterwards.
Right.
You know, and some were labeled House of M, and some were just continuations and regular runs of other books.
And it's like, how do you follow all of that?
Yeah, I'll send you the list. I found a list online.
Oh, wow. Okay.
That has all the different stories, and there's quite a lot, Mike. So,
oh, geez.
Yeah, good luck hunting it all down.
Well, DC's got Dark Crisis, and then they've got I think it's Dark Flashpoint no, Flashpoint Beyond, which Flashpoint Beyond I'm going to follow. I'm not going to follow Dark Crisis. I figure I might do the same thing we've done here with House of M, wait till that comes out as a trade paperback and just, get the trade, or maybe follow it on the DC app. I don't know, but I'm not going to follow every single comic of that crazy thing. There's just no way. But now, Flashpoint Beyond. I love the Flashpoint series.
Yeah.
And anything going into the Batman Beyond universe, you got me. I'm there.
Yep.
So I'll be getting that.
Yeah.
Oh, Angie just brought it up.
Oh yeah, it's free comic day.
Yeah, today's free comic day. So as of recording this on May 8th, today is free comic book day. So when this airs, comic book day will have been a week past.
But that's where Mark is this morning.
Oh yeah, that's right. He's signing autographs today.
Yeah, he is. He's for those that don't know, Mark is one of the 3 Geeky Dads, and he's published his own comic called Werewolf with a Chainsaw. And today, if you're in the local area where I am in Massachusetts and Northern Rhode Island, he can be found at Rubber Chicken Comics in Bellingham, Mass. So check him out.
Yeah, go give Mark some love and go.
Pick
up,
say hi. He's a great guy.
I like
Werewolf
that
with a
store
chainsaw.
name.
What's that?
I like the store name.
Rubber Chicken. Yeah. Jay Pillarella. I hope I'm not butchering his name. He's the owner and proprietor. He's a great guy.
Cool.
Yep. Stop in, say hi.
Yeah, our go-to comic book store here in Belleville is Fantasy Books. We have Fantasy Books and Twilight. I'll give Twilight a shout out too.
Yeah.
Fantasy's more of my go-to because I've pretty much been going there since high school. In high school, actually, when I first started comic books, we had a old comic book shop here in Belleville called Silver Spoon.
Oh wow!
And I loved Silver Spoon. It was a fantastic shop.
Yeah.
And then Silver Spoon closed, and Fantasy kind of took over in the area.
Okay.
And Fantasy now owns. They have 4 locations, I believe.
Oh, that's nice.
So. 3 on the east side, on the Illinois side, and then they bought out one of the biggest comic book shops in St. Louis. It was called Star Clipper, and they bought it out, and now it's a Twilight. I think, or not Twilight. It's Fantasy, but I think they kept the Star Clipper name too. Yeah, so
I've been there.
Oh, have you? Yeah. I haven't been over. We need to go over there sometime.
It's pretty cool.
I always go to the Belleville and the O'Fallon locations. Those are the only ones I go to over here on our side of the river. So, so yeah. So if you're listening to this today, if you're watching this today, and you got time, go out and support
after watching our shows.
Yeah.
Or Mike might saying our, but Mike's show.
Today it's your show too. So.
Head on over to your local comic book shop and support your local comic book shop.
Give them guys some love. Cool. All right. Well, that's House of M. And...
I'm gonna interject real quick.
Sure.
Because I never got to say it.
Okay.
Layla's power, she can perceive divergent realities. And she also restored some people's true memories.
Wait a minute.
Like Logan.
Yeah, and it also says Luke Cage on the wiki.
Oh, okay.
So wait a minute. So she diverges other realities.
No, she can.
She perceives them.
Perceives them.
So that's how she could see that things weren't right.
Okay, that's right. Okay.
And so she remembers what happened before Wanda changed it.
Okay. For just a second, I was thinking almost American Chavez, because
kind of.
Yeah. Interesting.
You're getting into spoilers.
I think anyone who's seen the trailers knows that American Chavez is in the new film.
Yeah, I don't think that's a secret. But what she does is so.
Well, no. I'm not going into that. It's just I'm just now I'm thinking. Wow, I wonder if
similar, but I don't think she has quite the same.
Yeah. She doesn't sound like she's as powerful.
There's a key difference between
words.
Yeah,
sure.
Yeah.
Words are important.
Words are important. And I just wanted to bring up something that I forgot earlier. As far as like the House of M being referenced in WandaVision.
Yes.
There was an Easter egg in WandaVision that alluded to the House of M. It was on the wine bottle.
Oh.
Did you pick this up?
No.
There was a wine bottle that bared the name Maison du Mépris. And
cool.
That is basically Maison being house, and Mépris starts with M. But if you translate it, from French, it means house of contempt, which is actually quite appropriate when you consider, Pietro's disposition towards Magneto.
Sure.
Later on in the story.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
No, I didn't catch that at all. That's great.
Really
that's one of the things that I remember reading back when WandaVision started. Like they were like, "Oh, right. House of M. The wine bottle says House of M."
Nice. Well, I know it's Elizabeth Olsen, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I know she
not Mary-Kate or Ashley.
Right. Well, they're her variants. So. They are,
but they do look alike. So
they do.
She favors
well, of course they look
sisters.
alike. Of course they look alike. They're her variants. Their variants should look somewhat alike.
She is younger than her sisters.
Of course. Then again, Sylvie doesn't look anything like Loki, and she's his variant. So I guess some variants don't. And alligator Loki doesn't look anything like Loki. So
neither does Kid Loki, really.
Well, true. So yeah, I guess some of the variants could look different. Now, President Loki looks exactly.
I was gonna say,
yeah, he is Loki. So
yep. Classic Loki didn't look anything like MCU Loki.
I loved classic Loki.
Yeah, me too.
He was so awesome,
and I like that actor too. And his name is I'm forgetting his name now. I'm blanking.
That escapes me.
But
I can go find it.
Megan's looking for it now. You know, I thought that they should have done like an internet, maybe like a YouTube thing where they just had short episodes with him doing things. That would have been so cool if they would have done that.
I agree. I think Marvel should bring back the one shots that they had for a while.
Right.
And they're all available now on Disney Plus too, which is great because they were extras on the DVDs and Blu-rays when they first came out.
Yeah, see, they should have done that with Loki. That would.
I agree.
And you could have done one for each one of the variants. That would have been really cool.
Yeah,
I don't know what the heck you do for alligator Loki, but
yeah, I don't know either. You could team him up with one of the other variants.
Right.
Well, he's typically with Kid Loki.
Yeah,
Richard E. Grant.
Oh, Richard E. Grant.
Yep,
exactly. Yep.
He was great. I loved him.
He was good.
I loved the look of the classic Loki costume. That was so cool.
It's just like when they did the Halloween episode
in WandaVision.
Vision showed up in his classic outfit, complete with a red face.
Right. But I think he was wearing like tennis shoes or something like that.
I think so. Yeah.
And then
she would get uncomfortable walking around the city in,
right.
in those weird little booties.
Right. And then her costume looked very similar to
very comic accurate.
Yeah.
But I love Vision's line where he said, "It was the only thing in my closet. Everything looked like this. I had no choice but to put this ridiculous thing on."
All the yellow and green in his closet. That's hilarious. I love it. Yeah. I thought WandaVision was a great show. I absolutely loved it.
Yeah.
And it's kind of fun now that I've read House of M. I mean, when I went back and rewatched WandaVision for the second time, it hit me. I'm like, this is so dark, actually. You know, when you first watch it and you don't know what's going on, it doesn't seem all that dark. It's just kind of mysterious of, okay, what is going on here? But then when you go back and rewatch it and you know who she is and you know what she's doing,
right?
It's like, man, this is dark. Oh, and then read House of M, and it's like, oh yeah, she has all these dark tendencies. So she's a pretty deep character.
She is.
I really like her. I really like her a lot. So
yeah, same here. And all of this stuff is all the product of her grief and dealing with that.
Yep, exactly. And it's the same whether you're watching Wanda, as far as the grief goes. It's the same whether you're watching WandaVision or you're reading House of M.
Exactly.
That same, emotion is there.
Yep, that thread runs through both of them.
Exactly.
Trauma and grief can do a lot of damage.
Yeah, and for her, it does do a lot of damage.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. So, all right. Well, that's House of M in a nutshell. I would highly recommend reading House of M.
Yeah, same here. And I would highly recommend reading Avengers Disassembled.
Right, even though
before reading House of M.
Right, even though we haven't read it yet.
Because jumping in at that point, it just makes you want to see what happened prior.
Right.
It's like, wow, that sounded like a cool story in itself too. So
well, I did the same thing with Spider-Man when we were kind of doing a build up to Spider-Man No Way Home. I read Spider-Man, I think it's One More Day, which is a great book, by the way. It's a great storyline. I really enjoy that. From what I understand, it's kind of divided with the Marvel fans. Some fans love it. Some fans just absolutely hate it. I thought it was a great story, though.
So what's the story, if we can get into it really quick?
Well,
I know we're trying to wrap it up. But
in that story, Aunt May gets killed.
Oh.
And Peter Parker is trying to reverse it, basically.
So that's his one more day. Oh,
right.
That's kind of why does he go to Doctor Strange in that one too?
He tries to go to Doctor Strange. Doctor Strange can't help him. He ends up turning to Mephisto.
Oh God.
Which
really?
I thought that Doctor Strange, when we were going into No Way Home, I thought that maybe Doctor Strange wasn't actually Doctor Strange. A lot
of people were thinking that.
Right. I thought it was actually Mephisto.
A lot of people were thinking that.
So, but obviously that turned out to be wrong. Oh, sorry. Spoilers for Spider-Man No Way Home if you haven't seen it.
It's been out for 6 months now.
Right. I don't think
seen it. You have no excuse.
I don't think anyone in this audience has not seen Spider-Man No Way Home.
Anybody who's a Marvel fan or a Spider-Man fan has probably seen it more than once at this point. So
exactly, I've seen it probably 3-4 times anyway.
Yeah, me too. Me too.
But so Mephisto ends up making a deal with MJ and Peter that they no longer can be together. That they don't know each
stipulation?
other. Yeah.
There's always a price.
And I think that's why fans hate it so much because it's separate. Now, I'm a big fan of those two, and I don't like the idea of them being split up either. But I love the story. The story is great, and it makes for great conflict.
And to tie that into House of M, Peter gets his kind of wish, but he's with Gwen Stacy,
right?
Not MJ,
right?
We didn't touch on that. Everything.
I forgot all about that.
Peter as well.
I forgot all about that. You're absolutely right because we see Peter Parker. He has his son in this.
He does. Yes, I almost forgot.
Now, see, in One More Day, he has a daughter, which I think they continue that through canon, though. I think he actually does have a daughter as things go along through the Spider-Man universe. I think I'm not real up on my Spider-Man stuff.
I was going to say it's been a long, long time since I read Spider-Man.
Me too.
I've fallen off collecting in the last 15 years or more.
But
I pick up an odd issue here and there, but
yeah. I'm a huge Spider-Man fan, though. I do love Spider-Man. He's one of my. He probably is my favorite. Oh, my wife's saying that we didn't rate the book. Okay, all right. So we need to give our rating and then sign off for this episode. So what would we rate this one? What would we make our scale?
Multiverses.
Okay. All right. So, and we've changed our rating now. We no longer go on a scale of 1 to 5. It's now 1 to 10. I would give this a 9. I really enjoyed this book.
Yeah.
I thought it was a great book. The story's really good, but I agree with you. I think you probably need to read Avengers Disassemble before this, which I plan on going back and reading.
Yeah. I think I will too, Mike.
But
and then we'll have to do a show on that one.
It's a great book. Oh yeah. Then we'll have to tell people, okay, if you didn't listen to this episode,
yeah. Well, it's like the prequel.
Yeah, there we go.
We're following George Lucas's numbering,
right? System. Yeah, we'll have a prequel to House of M. That sounds good. So yeah, I would rate it. I think I'd go a 9 on this one. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, I agree. The story was a 9. I think I'm going to give it an 8.5 just because I was disappointed with some of the artwork.
Okay,
but that's not to say that the story was not fantastic. Some of the way, I should say, the way that some of the male figures drawn just kind of bothered me.
And I will agree with that. But with me, it's more on the fact that we read the trade paperback and how they cut off some panels. That was just weird.
I know the layout of it was not executed very well in some spots.
It's like, how do you do? Why?
Yeah, I know. We've already got a sizable book here, so
right.
I mean, why not? Give us a splash panel here. Devote an entire page to what's supposed to be an entire page. Don't break it up.
Exactly.
Even if I have to turn the book sideways to get the full effect.
How did the editor not?
I don't know. I don't know. But no, it's still a very good book. Very good story. I'm like you. I want to read the lead in.
Awesome. Okay. Well, with that said, that is our review of House of M. I think it's a great book and a lead up to the new
Multiverse of
Doctor
Madness.
Strange Multiverse of Madness.
MOM. which opened on Mother's Day weekend.
Yeah.
Go figure.
I didn't even catch. Oh, that's good. That's really good. All right. Well, with that said, I guess I'll close this out. Brien, thank you very much for
having
stepping in for Steven.
Yeah, it's been a pleasure. It's been a pleasure.
You've done a great job. And,
thank you.
I knew you would.
I'm no Steven. I could never fill his shoes, but I appreciate you thinking of me and having me on.
We appreciate it. Now, go ahead and plug you guys. So.
Yeah. If I can really quick, you can find me and Mark and Derek and Tito at 3 Geeky Dads. We publish our episodes every Sunday night, so they should be out Monday morning for you to find us. We're available everywhere podcasts are found, or we like to direct everybody like you to our website, which is www.3gdpodcast.com. That's www.3gdpodcast.com.
I was going to try to interject like Derek does.
Yeah, because I don't want people typing out 3 and
right. Exactly.
I can't find these guys; they're not online.
Well, and our website, which is the hub to everything 2 Geeks, is 2 the number 2, like you said, and GEKSMIC.com. And it is only 2 E's, by the way, Brien. When you guys linked to us last time, you put 3 E's in.
Did we? Oh, yeah. I'm sorry. That was probably me.
That's okay. No problem. So anyway, you can get to our website. That is our hub to everything. You can get to our Facebook page, our YouTube page, our Ko-fi page. So if you'd like to help sponsor the show and, become a friend of 2 Geeks and a Microphone, a supporter, you can go to Ko-fi and support us on there. We have some cool things on there. We got a couple Ko-fi only episodes. We did Logan's Run and
Wrath of Khan,
Star Trek Wrath of Khan, which were fun episodes. We got one in the works when Steven comes back from vacation. I believe we're going to go with Planet of the Apes. The original.
You guys were going back and forth about which ones.
Yeah, I think we're going Planet of the Apes because, number one, I just want to say, get your dirty
stinking paws off me, you
damn dirty ape.
Yeah, I always fall on you maniacs. You blew it up. You blew it all to hell.
Oh, such a good movie. And Charles Heston is just phenomenal in that film.
Yeah.
So
don't forget to mention that the screenplay was written by Rod Serling of Twilight Zone fame.
Oh yeah, that's a good point. Good point.
So next month we should do the Twilight Zone.
Oh,
good one. The movie or the show?
Yeah, I was just going to say the movie or the show.
Yes.
That's my daughter.
I love Twilight Zone.
We love Twilight Zone. Anyway, so you can catch us there. Support us on Ko-fi. Also, if you support us on Ko-fi, any level supporter gets access to our Discord. What do you call that? Megan. Discord server. And if you get on Discord, you can have priority in the comments for the live shows because we have a Discord live channel that you can get on, and we'll give you priority there. So,
also, if we get when we have people in Discord, we can have more special things going on.
That's true. There's been talk of doing some watch parties and things like that. So
that's cool.
Yeah,
that's where you guys should do the Evil Dead for Steven.
Ooh, okay, yeah. We'll have to talk more about that later.
All
right. So with that said, again, thank you very much, Brien, for joining us.
Thank you, guys. Thank you,
Appreciate it.
Thank you, Megan, and thank you, Steven, for going on vacation and allowing me to have this opportunity.
That was great. I love it. All right. With that said, I'll close this out. Over and out. And Excelsior. Thank you for joining us today on the 2 Geeks and a Microphone podcast. Tune in next week when we will have more news and reviews. Until then,